Hey everybody, it's Eddie from Tokyo. This is your cryptocurrency update from Japan, and don't even mind the 21 tabs that are open because we're going to fly through it. We're going to fly through it in less than 10 minutes. It's packed full of crypto content for you. We'll have a peek at the market. We're also going to see who is sending and receiving XRP. And I'm not just talking about ODL, I'm talking about the whales. And Flare Finance, how they are going to have an impact on supply. Also, the risk and reward ratio, what it is, and what XRP holder who's been in this market for many, many years sees, because it is something quite amazing for the XRP holder right now. I can't wait to show you that. First, the market, 1.65 trillion. Yeah, we're just up barely 1% in the last 24 hours in terms of the total crypto market cap. The Bitcoin dominance is 45 to 46% range, and it's up a little bit because there's a lot of money flowing back into Bitcoin, as we have seen in the last 24 hours with this positive price action. And when we take a peek at the top gainers in the last 24 hours, Polkadot is up 15%, Chainlink up 11%, Matic up 15%, AMP, which we don't hear too much about, it's a collateral token, it's up 26%. Clay, 17% up, it's on the Clayton blockchain, it's ranked number 39 in coin market cap, and it's an ecosystem for DeFi apps. It's been around for a while, since 2019. And Thorchain up 19%, the decentralized liquidity protocol. It's a native token to Rune. And then Engine Coin, very popular here in Japan. It's up 11%. It is really a token used in the gaming sector. All right, short the FOMO. Well, I'll tell you, his data is getting very interesting. He just started collecting data about 2 weeks ago, and you can see that we are now able to see who the whales are in plain sight with this collective amount. And just 2 weeks, we see that 46 million XRP went to Upbit Global from Binance. I'm telling you, Binance is a monster when it comes to providing liquidity in this crypto space. And in yesterday's video, if you remember, I showed you how we can all see the on-demand liquidity XRP transactions with AstroPay, and they are participating big time. Now, why is this important? Well, I'm focusing on liquidity, and there's three main reasons why. Of course, one, it demonstrates real utility, which is going to contribute to the survivability of any token in this market. But most importantly is two, the lack of liquidity that XRP has is one of the reasons why MoneyGram had such a challenge. This liquidity needs to still be built. So that's why I'm always trying to find where the liquidity is increasing, being used, and also flowing. The third reason is the more XRP pools are out there to facilitate the on-demand liquidity, the more that it will have a chance to impact the supply. Now, I know it's going to take a lot of pools. It's going to take a lot more corridors. We are just scratching the surface, but eventually this is going to have an impact. And then we had a tweet from Tranglo. Tranglo is interesting for a lot of reasons. It's a company that Ripple took a 40% share in, and they tweeted this out today that while most of the USD 10 billion in remittances to Indonesia were made on existing payment rails, growing acceptance of digital currency and influx of global firms like Ripple are changing the payments landscape. So what do we see here that's very interesting? The hashtag ODL, on-demand liquidity. Yes, they are going to push ODL into Southeast Asia. Okay, it will take a lot more, I know, to impact, but we've also have this Flare Finance. They're going to do wrapped tokens, and a wrapped token is backed by the same amount of cryptocurrency that it represents. The latter is then put out of circulation and locked. So I'm looking forward to Flare Finance building their Flare X, where the traded assets that are supported by Flare Wrap will be like the wrapped BTC, which is backed one-to-one by Bitcoin and put in storage. So anytime you tie up the asset to reduce the supply, that has a direct impact on demand. So that is also what I am looking at. You need to pay attention to all the use cases to see the robust viability of the ecosystem of an asset that you have chosen to invest in. It goes across the board for everything. And what is a risk-reward ratio? I'm on the Binance Academy website, and it explains it very well. In fact, it's considered a beginner level, so it's very simple. This is their Binance Academy is amazing for information, really. I resource it a lot. And so what it is it tells you how much risk you have now for how much potential or reward that you can get in the future. Traders use this. It's a measurement, often used by day traders and swing traders. The calculation is simple. You divide your maximum risk by your net target profit. So you've got an entry point, right? You've decided this is going to be your entry point. And then you use your stop loss at the exit point. And so if the potential loss is 5%, for example, that's what your bottom is a safeguard at. Well, the sell order might have a target of 15%. So you take that 5 into 15, it gives you a 1-to-3 ratio or 0.33, which then is a potential of a 3-time reward. So if I say it another way, you risk $1 and you are set to gain $3. And you can see here when I take you down to this one, did I keep that open? Yeah. So if you have a position worth $100 and you risk losing $5 for a potential $15, that is also another way to say it. This is a wonderful, I should put a link to it in the description below. This is really a great way to understand the risk reward ratio. They have a very good description or explanation where if you were going to go to the zoo and you were to make a bet that you can get 1 Bitcoin if you sneak into the bird cage and feed the parrot with your hands, what's the potential risk, right? So then you're going to do something you shouldn't, but you may get taken away by police, right? That would be your big risk. But on the other hand, if you're successful, you're going to get 1 Bitcoin. At the same time, there's another alternative here. How about if you get a 1-to-1 Bitcoin if you sneak into a tiger cage and feed it raw meat? Well, to do that with your bare hands, what's the potential risk there? Yeah, you can get away possibly or taken away by police, but there's a chance that the tiger attacks and you are going to and inflicts fatal damage. So on the other hand, the upside is a little better than the parrot bet, but you're in more risk, so you would get more BTC if you are successful. So that I think those kind of examples are interesting to have you understand the calculation of that risk reward. Okay, let's get to the part where you really want to see now. This is the person in the XRP community. It is at Fusion_Flare if you find them on Twitter, or it's Crypto Fusion TV on YouTube. I'm going to play this 1-minute portion for you.
Very critical time for the XRP price against Bitcoin. And the reason I say that is every single time we've been inside of this melt your face zone. We have had just absolutely monumentous gains against Bitcoin. So you go back to 2016 and we rocketed up 773%. You go back to 17 and we rocketed up 3,600% against Bitcoin. You go back to 2017 and we rocketed up 1,197% against Bitcoin. I mean, this is just incredible. If you're not seeing what I'm seeing, you need to see this now. We literally just came out of that melt your face range, this melt your face off zone. And you could even see we came out of this range and we are just currently back testing it. I mean, let that sink in, guys. This is huge. This is absolutely monumentous for XRP against the Bitcoin chart.
So he's giving you a comparison against Bitcoin. This is not done very often in the people who are providing chart information. That's why I'm pulling this out. I think it's interesting. I have one more minute to play you on this. Here you go.
And let's just say we get half of these previous trades and we set our risk position down to here, or our short position down to here. I mean, we're talking about a risk reward ratio of 5.82%. I mean, let's just go to the lowest point. We're at a risk reward of 4.18. Let's go to the next higher one. We're at 9.82. And I mean, it just goes incredibly up from there. So from a risk reward perspective, I don't know why anyone would want to be short XRP and long Bitcoin when the risk reward on the Bitcoin XRP chart is just absolutely phenomenal in XRP's favor. I mean, if I own Bitcoin, I would be shorting the heck out of it right now.
Yeah, I think it's an interesting video, and I just wanted to bring you that because it's always great to get perspectives out there that are slightly different than what you normally hear and see. All right, I am going to be working on another video today. This is, of course, Mary Jo White. She's on the defense of the team for Ripple with this SEC lawsuit. And she served as the 31st chair of the SEC from 2013 to 2017. She knows where the buried bodies are, guys. I'm telling you, that is why you have Ripple asking yet again for those communications. There was some more information that came out today, so I'm going to cover that in a following video. Look forward to that. Until then, we're going to jump to the fluff. And yeah, Tokyo, as in central Tokyo, finally got their Pokemon manhole covers. These are the ones that are designed. Wow, look at that. I duplicated myself. I don't know how that happened. I won't touch it just in case I mess something up. This is going to be two that go into Tokyo, and they are the characters from Pokemon that are from ancient times. You have this one here, which is Dogu. Dogu means earthenware figure. And these figures were from the Jomon period in Japan, which is, what, 14,000 BC to 400 BC. They actually have discovered approximately 1,500 of these. And this particular one was found in Miyagi, which is north of Tokyo. It's it's estimated to be about 1,000 BC. They have big eyes, small waist, wide hips, thought to be good luck charms for mothers, but you know, they really don't know. They're just taking educated guesses from other ancient civilizations that they have some other documentation on. But those are really cool because they're going to be placed next to two different big museums here in Tokyo. Tokyo's got a lot of interesting museums, but the two that are really spectacular are the Tokyo National Museum and the Natural Science Museum. Now, the Natural Science Museum has this kind of institute for nature study. It's in the middle of the city, as you see here. It is in Meguro. It's just one stop away from where I live, and this is a 20-hectare natural location home to 1,400 species of plants. They have 2,130 insects and 130 different bird species. One of the species that they do have is the raptor, which is the, Gosling hawk? I'm just kind of forgot the name of this hawk. Let me just double check here. I think it is called a goshawk. A goshawk. All right. So the goshawks have been painted and in so many different ways. This particular folding screen actually comes from the Edo period, and it was from a school of art that used a lot of gold, real gold. This is real gilded gold. Really so beautiful. But there is a video because a baby goshawk was born. They're actually born every year in this natural space, but they put cameras on them so you can watch them. I think they have two that were born. This is, I think, video footage from only when one had hatched. You can see Mary's this little white guy just looks so precarious. Like, how do they not fall out of the nest? I'm sure they do sometimes, but wow. So there's both parents taking good care of this little guy, this little chick. Yeah. And so what's super interesting, I think, for the Fluff is that where that natural space is was once the home of the very last daimyo from Takamatsu. Takamatsu is in Shikoku, which is an island way south of Tokyo. It is part of the structure that was in Edo, and all those big daimyo, they had to have a house where the Tokugawa shogunate was in Edo, which was Tokyo at that time. So his mansion, his place for when he left Takamatsu was on that property. And you can still see some remnants of the foundation and some areas that he had. His garden still is in existence. And this particular daimyo, when he was in Takamatsu, he lived in this main keep here. The main keep, or the Tenshu, is the tallest of the castle buildings. There's various structures built where the castles are located. This one, unfortunately, is gone now because it was dismantled. This is a photograph from 1882. This is what it would have looked like at the time of the Edo period. It is one of the only 3 castles to be built at the seafront. So it had 3 moats, I believe: inner moat, a center moat, and an outer moat. And you can just get a feel for what that area looked like from this. I think this is a VR image, yeah, virtual reality image that was captured. And so today, when you go to Takamatsu, you will see one of the Yaguro, which is one of the smaller buildings, are still in existence. So it's still very much worth going, visiting, and checking out. And this castle has an amazing history. It was attacked at one time. What they did in the attack is build dikes to a nearby river to flood the castle. Yeah, they almost won, but it was Hideyoshi who called the attack off because Nobunaga passed away. Anyway, it's a fascinating story and it's a fascinating battle. And if you like to read about those epic wars in feudal Japan, Taiko is the book that covers that particular castle battle. All right, everybody. Yes, do take care. Sayonara for now. Bye-bye.